Professor. Go ahead.
Greetings to everyone at the conference. I wish I could be in London with you, and the conference on sustainability is so important. But let me take a few minutes to tell you about the research that I am doing now. Right now, I am very busy working on what we call wicked problems. I don't know if you've heard about the subject of wicked problems. I don't know if you can see this, but we published this because among the wicked problems, one of them is climate change. Now, that book on wicked problems mentions many other problems: the problem of hate, the problem of corruption. Uh, what makes a problem wicked? It means that it's there because of great number of factors affecting it. There are so many variables that affect the problem that it's not easy to solve. Now, that led me to work with my colleague, another colleague of mine, on a book called Regeneration, because we believe that the solution to wicked problems lies in regeneration. Regeneration is about making the communities better. When I say communities, I mean the living community where people live and sleep and work. And I also mean the community within a company. The people working in the company have to be motivated and rewarded and stimulated too. So my recent work is on wicked problems to be solved by work on regeneration. Now, going to the problem of climate change, and I tend to work with the idea of the three Ps. What do I mean by the three Ps? Don't confuse it with the four Ps of marketing. They're very different. Product, price, place, and promotion is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about three Ps. One of them is people. Everything is about people. It's not about just profits and mechanics. It's about the health of people. And the second P is the health of the planet. And the third P is the health of prosperity. That, in other words, the three Ps are people, planet, and prosperity. Now, you may say instead the word profitability, but we want the profitability to be widely shared. So that's why I use the word prosperity. The company's goal is to increase prosperity, which is increasing shared value. Everyone benefits, not one class benefits from it, the others. Now, one of my guiding principles came from the work of the Nobel laureate Yunus, Muhammad Yunus. I've been very impressed with his genius work. Right now, he has proposed that we all think of the three zeros. So I want to just remind you, the first is the zero of poverty. We want to aim for zero poverty. The second zero is employment. We want to have zero unemployment. Everyone has work and a job if they choose to take them. And the third is zero carbon emission. We reduce the amount of carbon. Now, some companies are very good at that. For example, I've been so impressed with the work done by Unilever when Paul Pullman was running the company Unilever for years, and everything he did was socially good. It was not only economically profitable, socially good. One example is that he said, I'm not going to report quarterly earnings. Why won't you report quarterly earnings? Your investors want to know how well you did that quarter. His answer was, I am doing some deep investing, so in some of the quarters, we're going to show losses rather than gains. And that the problem is that the stock market goes crazy when they see a loss and they start selling their stock. So I don't want to report how well I did quarter by quarter, but at the end of the whole year, they will see what we added to the power and the muscle of the Unilever company. So we have several leaders, and I call them well, they include Coca-Cola, Walmart, and others that are doing a great job of bringing about the new sustainability. And in fact, the book that Khalid and I wrote is called The New Sustainability Edge. Now, I've heard some of the talks so far at the conference and am just amazed and impressed. It's really time to write another book, not by me and Callie, but someone to digest all the wonderful ideas in the talks that have gone on these, and which will be 3 days, and see what the new, not just the new sustainability edge is, but the new sustainability edge. Now, I can go on talking, but that's not right because we did prepare the slide presentation. So I'm going to ask Khalid to now present the set of slides. He was going to start at a certain point, and we want our message to be clear to you in what we mean by the new sustainability edge. Khalid, would you please start your presentation? And thanks to everyone for listening to me and my ideas. Bye.
Great.
Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Dr. Khalid, you can share your screen. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. After Professor Philip Kotler, we don't need to, nobody's interested to listen to me, but this is the presentation, Professor Kotler and I, we prepared this slide just a few for the participants and distinguished guests.
Khalid, I will just make you, just 1 second. I will open for you. Where is it? Yeah. Well, sorry, here. Just keep. Yes, I want to unmute him. I'm just getting. No, I will do it here now. Gallery. Where is Khalid? Make co-host. Dr. Khalid, you can unmute now and you start.
Okay.
Can you make your slide bigger, Professor? Yes, for your presentation. Click on display, bigger one. F5.
Or just down the bottom. Just a slideshow. Yeah.
Click on slideshow.
Professor Alam, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. F5. Can you press F5? Because it's very important presentation. We don't want to lose it. Particularly this textbook is really.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us? Professor, you can hear us? You can write me chat. Yeah, I don't know why he can't. Can you hear us? Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Do you hear us, Dr. Khalid? We made him co-host. Okay. Withdraw co-host. Can you hear us, Dr. Khalid?
I'm now speaking from my mobile. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but can you hear us? We hear you. Can you unmute, Dr. Khalid?
Okay.
Yes, we hear you, and we can see your slide.
Okay. Is it clear now?
Yes, clear, and we can see you. Go ahead.
Okay. Professor Kotler, give me 1 second. I've just started and I will, this. Okay. This is the slide where we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. Professor Kotler, this is the first slide. Do you want to say something to the audience? You are unmute. Please unmute, Professor Kotler. He has gone. He's not there.
But you can carry on, Khalid. Yes, he is back. But ask him just to
I've
unmute.
unmuted.
Yeah, go ahead now.
Turn the mobile. Look at the camera, please. Yes. Professor Kotler, this is the first slide. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. This was the first slide. You want to say something here?
No, please, you take over.
Dr. Khalid, do you hear Professor Kotler?
Yeah, I basically want Khalid to make the presentation and
Khalid, Dr. Khalid, do you hear us?
Recording in progress.
Professor, yes, Khalid, do you hear us?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he asked you to present, he said.
Oh, I will have to present, okay?
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the first slide. We see that we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. The thing is, we think that we have got this planet. It's a gift from the parents and grandparents. But actually, the purpose of life is different. We have borrowed this earth from our children, from our future generation. We have the responsibility to look at the future. We should be forward moving. In our presentation, it would be the sustainability, not limited to environment pollution or climate change, but overall, as Professor Kotler has said, it is the overall business, how we use the resources, the emission, the product life cycle, branding, education, customer centricity, and everything. So this is all we will be doing for our future generations. I'll be a little faster because we have already taken a lot of time. Here, the second slide, how we can justify acting against the children and communities. As we think that the present world is for granted, it is for the profitability, which Professor Kotler has said that we will have to look for 3 Ps. So whatever we do, we will have to think about that are any actions or any activities that should not go against the interest of our children and the communities. We will have to ask before any business, who benefits at the end of the day? When we invest something, when we work for any projects or any business, we'll have to consider will be benefited. Who pays the hidden cost? There are the hidden cost. There's the carbon emission. There's the profitability. There's the different aspects of business, which is they're the hidden cost, and ultimately this is borne by the future generations. And the third question is, what legacy will these for the next generations? The question is, are we living communities better or with the new burden? So whenever we do any business for sustainability, we'll have to answer all these the questions. What do you mean by sustainability? Sustainable development is development that meet needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations. This is the most important thing. We think that sustainability, when we do any business, we consider our present, the profitability, the livelihood, and so on, and compromising with the ability of future generations. And therefore, sustainability is not a cost, it is an opportunity. It is not just about the balance sheet of profit and loss, it's all about the shared future. We have seen in the last 2 days, the different presenters, they have presented that it's not a choice, it's essential. Professor Kotler has already mentioned about to use a triple lens, 3 Ps, people, planet, and prosperity. When you talk about the first P, the people, that they support people, their fair wages, safe conditions, diversity, and inclusion. The second P, the planet, we'll have to do the business considering to protect our planet, carbon reduction, circular design, regenerative practices, and so on. And finally, drives prosperity. It should be long-term value creation, financial returns, innovation, competitiveness, and so on. The challenges we all know, there's the mindset, especially among the C-suite leaders. There are different the research reports available. We have seen the barrier, the block, it comes from the C-suite leaders. So that's the mindset. Next, the profit pressure for short-term gains. There's, of course, the operational complexity across global supply chains, especially in the developing countries. Perceived low return on investment. As we know, there's no immediate financial returns, cost cutting instead. There's the regulatory or market uncertainty and greenwashing temptation. But the generational shift, there's a ray of hope. We have seen in different reports, young generations, they're driving sustainability. They have come up with different mindsets. Generation Z, those who are between 15 to 30 years, we have seen in different reports, they grew up with climate change, social justice movement, they are TikTok activism, and they don't separate sustainability from daily life. In different reports we have seen, for example, in the Statista, 46% of Canadian Generation Z reported paying more for a product because it had lower climate impact. We have also seen in other reports that 90% of US millennials would pay more for sustainable products versus 61% of the baby boomers. We have also seen that 70% of Generation Z and millennials prioritize environmental credentials when choosing the employee. These are all the good hopes that despite of so much of challenges, especially from the stakeholders, different political leaders, and the those who fund for different projects or companies, but the younger generations, they have different mindset, and they are our future. They are our hope. This is also another data where it shows that 70 to 80% of the consumers globally are willing to pay extra for sustainable products is by Price Waterhouse Coopers and Nielsen data. Similarly, there are 90% millennials willing to pay more for environmentally friendly or socially responsible products. So we can say that sustainability is not just ethical, it's a good business. So there are many questions to solutions, and that is why Professor Kotler and I, we have written this book, The New Sustainability Age, Redefining Business from Startups to Industry Leaders. Why these books? There are many books because it goes beyond theory and slogans. There are many books where you can see why sustainability matters, but this book shows how to make it real. It's not theory-heavy book. It's not based on the heavy jargons, but it is based on real stories, real lessons, and real people and real cases. We have 28 world-class cases from Saudi Arabia to Afghanistan, Bangladesh to Canada, America to China, and so on. We have so many cases, real-life practical cases from different business. And the topics, it goes far beyond environment. There are topics on the chapters on sustainable business strategy, AI in sustainability, tourism, customer centricity, branding, human resource management. Even we have a chapter on 65 plus population. We know they are the fastest growing population in the world now. So we have also chapters and cases for the 65 plus population, how we can look at the fastest growing population. We have on education, DEI, ESG, and so on. So it's basically a true wake-up call. There are some, I'm giving you in brief, some of the real stories and real insights. There's a 19 chapters contributed by 15 global leaders just in one book. The leaders are from academia, corporate business, and sustainability. It was built on vision, trust, and teamwork. These books goes beyond buzzwords. As I mentioned already, there's some actionable strategies. It addresses urgent global challenges with practical business tools, and it is a purpose-driven for people, planet, and prosperity. Here are some of the quick cases. There are 28 cases. I'm just sharing a few cases. One is on the Grameen Bank, empowering women. We know that's the Professor Yunus, Nobel Peace Laureate, started microloans in 1972. So there is a case on empowering rural women, how Grameen Bank has scaled a model nationwide and combining finance and social goals. Over 10 million borrowers. These are mostly the women with high repayment rate. Social business can be financially sustainable. So this is a case on social business. There is a case on tourism in Bhutan, and also in Nepal. We have two cases where we have shown how tourism, which we call as ecotourism and cultural preservation, remaining as a central point, but it is a profitable business. There is a case on the fashion industry. We have a controversy case on H&M, how cultural insensitivity can impact on sustainability. It's a wonderful case from H&M. And we learn from there the trust, brand, reputation, and profits were damaged if you have something different impacting on the human sustainability. We have case from Patagonia. This is a zero waste pioneer in Japan, Kamikatsu, how they have converted their city as a zero waste city in Japan. It was it was shown that recycling rose from 80% versus 20% nationally, how that the city, they have converted the city as a sustainable and citizen friendly. There's also on mental health stigma. It's a Chinese case. It's a wonderful case that was also in the book. So that's it. And this book will benefit. It's a students in sustainability and business programs, entrepreneurs, startups, business leaders, researchers, and practitioners. So sustainability is no longer optional. It is the new competitive edge. The book empowers leaders to take holistic, purpose-driven action, ensures businesses thrive while building a better future. That's it. Thank you so much. We believe sustainability without borders. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, both of you, Professor Khalid and Professor Kotler. I think I will just give, maybe if you allow us, maybe if there's any question, anyone want to just, but make it very short if you have a question. Or also people in the Zoom, if you have any question for Professor Kotler and Professor Khalid, please fire away. Any question? Anyone would like? Yes, come here and ask. So you can.
Professor Kotler, are you there?
Yeah, go ahead, Professor.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, so now you can answer.
Yeah, thank you so much, Professor Philip Kotler and Professor Philip Kotler and Professor Khalid. Thank you so much. I'm overwhelming. My voice is a little bit shaking seeing Philip Kotler eye to eye, face to face today. Thank you, Professor.
Yes.
Adam. I grew up reading your book, and I know the definition of marketing from you, and I gave in my interview the same. So it's really a great day. And as Professor Alam said, we know more about your book. I know how you sold sneakers in the countries of Africa. I know the case study. Yeah, so just moving ahead, I just want to ask that when we talk about sustainability without borders, so is there any a case representing this idea in the book, sustainability without borders? And what are the, you can say, representations of the data over there when we talk about sustainability? Because we say that it is like, it is not a cost, rather an opportunity. So this, I'm just inquisitive about this. Thank you so much.
Well, yes. You know, I always like this idea of without borders. I remember even using the expression that we should do marketing without borders. We have to make more out of the United Nations. The United Nations, you know, is pursuing all of these goals. They're called the Sustainable Development Goals. And unfortunately, the United Nations is falling short of their set goals and the years when they wanted to achieve all of these goals. So we got to go back to the SDGs and make sure that countries and companies all understand that this could be our focus. What are the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, that will advance the common good? See, behind all of this is the concept of the common good, not the good of a company alone or the employees alone, but what enhances. You know, I'm in a field which is all about how to create new value. The whole field of not only marketing, but the field of finance, the field of production, should all be about creating new value. New value for everyone, shared value. We should say the goal is creating shared value. And the United Nations goals are a reminder of specific things that companies should be guided to do. I'll stop here.
Professor Kotler, this is from me, Alam here, okay?
Yes.
Now, Professor, I think 1999, 27 years ago, I stopped over in Aleppo in Syria. And at that time, the flight to Sudan, they will give you a one night off and then you connect to the next day. So I went to a book fair and I bought 3 books your Kotler 1, 2, 3 translated. Syrian are very good in translating your book. So I still have them in my house, 27 years now. How do you feel, Professor? As far as I know from many people in medical field, business, economics, you are one of the top people in the whole world where people read your books. You have generations of people who have read your book. I told you, I read your book when I was a student, and I've been teaching it for 26 years now. How do you feel, Professor? The whole world is learning from you. Professors, academia, the Carter Institute of Marketing, kids now, Queen Mary now, digital marketing, everyone, thanks God, is using your book. How do you feel about that? Everywhere,
Well,
in Arab countries, in Lebanon, everywhere. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel good about that because it's not that people feel good about me, but the message that we should all endorse and share of making the world better for everyone. This is about the problem of capitalism. Capitalism must be redefined as not serving the interests of the owners only and the investors only. You remember we had a whole movement called moving from investor-directed business to moving to the stakeholders, all the stakeholders. Every business is made up of so many people besides the CEO and the top management. And so it's very important that we judge companies. By the way, when I say judging companies, there are companies we shouldn't buy anything from. Those are companies that don't practice the environment. Though, in fact, if we learn that a company is hurting the air, hurting the water, hurting the soil, don't buy from them. Buy from companies that are improving the soil, improving the air and water, because the planet is not healthy. We need people who are going to help not only people do better, but the planet do better. And that's why we say the 3 Ps. And they all really start with the word purpose. What is the purpose of life? What is the purpose of being alive? And companies had an answer. It's the wrong answer. Profits are the purpose. No, making the world better is the purpose. So I'm glad to hear that different countries are getting that feeling too.
Okay, and one last question. Many professors I know, British, American, others, they have written textbook on marketing. And I'm sure you know that. Many textbooks. But anywhere, Professor, even I remember in Janduba, very in the northeast of Tunisia, in Africa, is still the main textbook. Anywhere I have been is Kotler. Anywhere. Why all the academics failed to compete with Kotler? All over the world, American, British, African, everyone is still, you go any university, the main textbook for marketing is Kotler. Why do you think your books are out of competition?
Yeah, let me tell you why. I never stop thinking. Basically, I remember using an expression, never stop marketing. Never stop. So, because you can always learn more and improve. There's no expert on marketing. Anyone who says he's an expert on marketing, he won't be an expert 5 years from now, because it's a business and marketing and finance, they're all changing with the AI. AI is going to change the world. So we have to be learners, always learning. Anyone who says I've learned my field so well, I don't have to keep up with it. No, stop. You're going to lose your understanding of your own subject if you don't continue to read about it and see what's happening. Now, you mentioned my books are here and there used. That's good for me. I'm happy to know that is the case. But the only reason they're still used is I remember a businessman saying, can I sign can I sign my book? And the book was the first one I ever wrote. And I said, I won't sign it. You shouldn't be using it because this is 2020, the year 2025. That book was written in the year it was written in 1967. Don't use the book that was written in 1967. You can collect it, but always use the book that was written in 2025. So if my books are found in a lot of places, it's because each book is an improvement on the previous book. Otherwise, I wouldn't write another book.
Okay, thank you
That's
very
why marketing management is now in the 17th edition. And I hope it goes on until the 25th edition, because marketing will keep changing and improving, and business will too. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. Really, it's a pleasure. And just before you go, we launched in this conference 2 journals, World Journal of Women and Sustainable Development and the World Journal of Youth and Sustainable Development. Just short words to both these categories, women's and youth, because this is our main portfolio, if you like, focus. What is your, or you say whatever you like to say. I mean, you are a tremendous visionary man. Women and youth. Many people talk about these categories as if they are just separated from the whole community. What can you say to the young generations and to the women?
You know, the young generation is our future. I believe that we have an obligation to our future generation, which will be the children who are now there and the marriages that will take place and the people that will come about. But women particularly, I've noticed, are improving finally in such a wonderful way. Even I've been asked the question, how are women doing in marketing? They're running marketing. They always did our shopping for us. They influence the producers what to make for us. So women are key to marketing. They are the original marketers. They're the nutrition. They make marketing nutritious as a subject. So we have to respect their rights and their privileges too.
Thank you very much, Professor. We won't keep you long. Thank you so much, and also thank you, Dr. Khalid. And it's a privilege to have you. And we hope to see you. And we might think seriously to come in your own hometown to make a conference there, so we will see you face to face. Thank you very much, Professor.
Thank you. Goodbye,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
They said they want, what do you want? They want to take a picture with you. Can you see how much people love you? Can you come? Yes, okay. So they want to take a picture with you virtual. This never happened, Professor, by the way. So you can see, can you, they are taking picture with you from the screen. So you see how much you've been loved across this globe, Professor. Yeah, we can take the picture. Yeah. And this is, come Lucia, come quickly.
Okay.
This is, we will send you this picture, you'll see. And I can
Good.
get who is here from India, UK, Tunisia, where else? China. Where are you, Professor?
Okay, thank you so much. I hope the rest of your conference goes wonderfully well.
Quickly, just 1 second. He's taking a picture. Marvin, quickly. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
I send my best wishes.
And thank you very much, Professor.
Okay. Bye.
Mute. Now, Dr. Muhammad, the floor is yours. Dr. Muhammad is going to moderate this session. And I think you have the group from Saudi Arabia waiting. Riham, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm here.
Excellent. Can you share your slides? Because your chairs are here now.
Right.
We had to, I know you did very well with Professor, your colleague here, but I think that the mix, excellent. Can we now see you, right? Can you put the camera on, Riham?
Yes, I'm here.
Well, can you click on, it's not working. Okay, I have to stop now. So the chair is Muhammad. Go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Got the pleasure to introducing Dr. Riham and her team from Jeddah University, joined with Al Qura University in a joint venture between biological science and mechanical engineering, bridging the gap for plastics using alternatives to generate 3D material.
Just heard you.
Oh, there's a mic. Okay.
Can
you hear me? Okay, well, I have the pleasure to present the team from Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, combined with Al Qura University, who joined between biological sciences and mechanical engineering to advance the plastics use in a biological manner for food and other additive material here. So I'll let Dr. Riham lead the presentation. Please go ahead and share your presentation.
Thank you.
Can you make it?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Can you make your slides bigger? It's not working. Okay, just carry on. It's all right. Thank you. Please go ahead, Dr. Riham.
The slide is change or not?
No.
I can't change. Now?
Click on the slide number. Press the arrow going down.
Like this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good
Thank you.
afternoon, everyone. First, I would like to thank the organizer for giving me the chance to present today. Let me start with a simple question. How many plastic packages are thrown away every minute? I will give you a time to think about it. And today, I'm happy to share my research titled Development of 3D Printed Polymers Reinforced with Natural Plant Fibers for Sustainable Recycling, Industrial Packaging, and Antibacterial Application. Recently, there has been a growing global awareness about environmental issues. Traditional plastic are one of the major contributors to pollution because they take hundreds of years to decompose. Therefore, researchers are looking for sustainable and eco-friendly materials. Natural fibers, especially those obtained from agricultural waste, have shown great potential for this purpose. They are renewable, biodegradable, and can enhance the antimicrobial and mechanical properties. To understand the materials I used in my research, I will now talk about the palm trees fibers. Palm trees are plants that grow in hot and dry regions. The waste fiber from palm trees contain cellulose and hemicellulose and lignin. They are the main structural component that makes fibers. The fibers is strong. Using these fibers helps reduce agricultural waste while improving the strength of polymers. Now, let's move to the 3D printing technology used to develop a compost. 3D printing technology is manufacturing technology that builds materials layer by layer. It allows precise control, low waste, and can be customized for industrial application. There are different techniques such as SLA, SLS, and FDM. SLA, which uses photoresins and provide high resolution and smooth surface. SLS, where nylon is used and strong and does not require a support. FDM, the most common type, which uses PLA, ABS, and TPU, and the advantage, cheap and easy to use. In this research, we used FDM technology and the PLA, the main polymer of the study. I will now explain more about the PLA polymer. PLA, or polylactic acid, is biodegradable thermoplastic polyester. It's widely used on food packaging and also biomedical field. So, by reinforcing natural fibers with PLA can improve the mechanical and antibacterial properties. This brings us to the broader concept of sustainability, which forms the core of this research. Sustainability means is balance between present needs and not harming future. This project aligns with both global sustainability goals and Vision 2030 by made palm fiber based packaging. After understanding the information about the material used, I will now talk about the research problems. As we know, as we can see here, traditional plastic causes big environmental pollution. So we need better and sustainable alternative. In this research, we used PLA with palm fibers to make packagings it's stronger and more resistant and biodegradable. Understanding the research problems brings us to the importance of this research. This research is significant for many reasons. It contributes to environmental sustainability, promotes agriculture waste utilization using 3D printing technology, and enhance food preservation. Based on this motivation, clear research objectives were defined. The objectives are to development of a composite materials combining palm fiber with PLA using 3D printing, test and enhance the antimicrobial properties, and evaluate the potential of palm fiber as a sustainable resource for food packaging materials. Here, the main methodology steps of this research. First, I collect palm fiber waste and prepared it for use. Then, using 3D printer to create PLA palm fiber composite scaffold. After that, I tested the antibacterial properties using bacterial culture like E. coli and Staph aureus. And finally, we will evaluate the packaging performance to check its strength and durability. Here, as we can see here, the PLA palm scaffold with different porosity. Here, the computer design CAD, and here the actual 3D printed scaffold with different porosity. We used it to test the bacterial adhesion and the metabolic activity. As here, we started by culture the bacteria on different scaffold with different porosity to see the bacterial adhesion of each bacteria type on the surface. Here, there is no major difference between in bacterial adhesion between the scaffold with different porosity. And here, on the other hand, in lower figures, we can see a significant reduction in bacterial adhesion, especially with E. coli and Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Here, we measured the metabolic activity by quantifying ATP released by the bacteria. As we noticed in 100% porosity, it was high, while in adherent, the bacteria could not adhere and it decreased. So we conclude that palm fiber play a role to bacterial inhibition. In the next stage, we will test additional bacterial strains and evaluate the packaging performance in real food packaging application. Thank you all. To conclude my presentation, thank you all for your attention, and I'm happy to answer any question.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rehan, for a fascinating presentation. Before I open the floor to any questions, can I ask you a question? Have you looked at about the strength of the materials coming out of the biological side? You're currently working on that. Okay, thank you. Does anyone have a question? Go on, Doctor.
Hello, thank you very much for your very nice presentation. I think this was very interesting for me concerning.
The voice is not clear.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I think the presentation concerning the use of the waste of trees, I think palm tree, and also which part of the tree you use? You use the leaves or use the stem? Which part of the tree?
I cannot hear.
Okay, Rehan, I think I will answer it for this video because you can't hear it. We use it was the green part, the palm fiber, and we just put it in the oven just to dry. Actually, it's a waste, and also we dry it, but it's still working to inhibit bacteria.
Yeah, I think this is very nice because we have many waste of agricultural waste products, so you can use it in paper bulk making, or also in packing of some maybe some products. My second question concerning the type of bacteria that you test. Which type of bacteria you test for this packing? Thank you very much.
Okay, as she mentioned, we are using. She mentioned in the presentation she uses Colitis, Pseudomonas, and Staph aureus, which is the most common bacteria that we can find in the food poisoning stuff. Plus, she can also get this different type of bacteria, for example, Salmonella Shigella, which is also very important for food poisoning and food packaging. I hope this answered your question.
So,
Okay, great.
is the study only focused on the biological side, so you haven't tested the materials or the durability?
Still, she is a master's student, actually,
Okay.
so still working on that. Now in the second stage, the testing the material itself, the mechanical properties, as well as the
Durability.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, no, it's a fascinating study. Thank you very much.
No, thank
Thank you very much, Dr. Rehan.
Thank you.
I would like us to add something just in case tomorrow you will not hear Reham. Reham, do you hear me? Reham, do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Yesterday, do you see us here? Do you see
What?
the people? Do you see us here in the room? Do you see the people in the room?
No.
Okay. Halas will try tomorrow, because what I wanted to say to you, Riham, I have never, for 24 years running this conference, we have never came across a young researcher like you who is so dedicated and keen and resilient. I know everything happened with you to get this presentation. So well done, Riham. And I wanted you to see the people, because I'm going to ask them to clap for you. Really, well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
At least your professor here will see them. Well done. Well done. So it's all up to you. Outstanding. Very dedicated. This is going on. I know. I wish we see you next time face to face. Yes. Now, yes, go ahead.
Our next presenter is going to be Dr. Sarah Al-Hussein from iDesign here in the UK. While she gets her presentation ready for us online, I'll give a brief introduction. Her presentation is about a framework for sustainable architecture beyond 2030, and it encompasses 6 dimensions. As she listed them here, it's the climate, the size, the design, the decarbonization, the systems, and the community. And the fascinating thing for me is she frames it through a multi-criteria decision-making, a multi-objective design-making. That's an area of speciality of mine that I like to investigate a lot. She has a career spanning the Middle East and the UK. She has a master's from the University College London, and currently she's working on the design in a company here in the UK with iDesign. So Sarah, if you're ready, I'll pass on the mic for you virtually so you can give your presentation. Please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Do for you. So, okay, I keep interrupting you. Where is it here?
Actually, it's an honor to join this global conversation on what comes after 2030. Also, I would like to thank Professor Amlam and the WAS team for their great efforts in organizing this conference. Today, I will be sharing an overview of my research paper titled Operationalizing 6 Climate-Conscious Design Actions, a Framework for Sustainable Architecture Beyond the 2030 Agenda. It will be soon published in the World Sustainable Development Book 2025. So this work explores how architecture can move beyond compliance toward a regenerative, inclusive, and climate-conscious practice. We are in the middle of a climate emergency. The global warming has already exceeded 1.1 degrees Celsius, threatening ecosystems and human systems around the world. Also, cities are at the front lines, facing major issues like extreme heat, flooding, and growing pressure on their energy systems. Besides the built environment, while it's vulnerable, it's also one of the most powerful tools we have to respond. So architecture touches everything. It affects health, equity, access, resilience, and how we live together. But the truth is, we are off track. The world is falling behind on the Sustainable Development Goals, and the Paris Agreement goals are slipping out of reach. So to catch up and to move forward, we need more than just sustainable buildings. We need systemic, climate-conscious design that goes beyond technical compliance and aims for transformation. The urgency is not abstract, it's measurable. The built environment accounts for 42% of global energy-related emissions from construction to operation and to maintenance. But it's not just the emissions that concern us, it's our fragmented response. Many current frameworks still focus on mitigation alone, targeting energy and carbon, but overlooking issues like adaptation, social equity, and cultural relevance. So as we approach 2030, architecture must move from checklist-based compliance to deep transformation. That means designing not just to reduce harm, but to regenerate ecosystems, support resilient communities, and prepare for climate futures. In short, post-2030, design isn't just greener, it must be smarter, fairer, and adaptive. So what's holding us back? Tools like LEED, BREEAM, and WIL have raised the bar, and they have helped. Meanwhile, they also reveal their limits. Many rely on checklists, not systems thinking. They also focus on environmental metrics while sidelining equity, culture, and resilience. Also, some buildings even achieve certification. They are still underperformed. This creates a fragmentation where climate goals, health goals, and social goals are addressed separately instead of as a unified strategy. So sustainability in architecture has too often been reduced to technical compliance, not transformative change. In response to these gaps, I developed the 6 Climate Conscious Design Actions, or SCDA. It's not another rating system. It's a framework designed to guide architecture beyond 2030, moving from fragmented compliance to integrated transformation. It's built also on 4 key strengths. Integrated foundation. It draws from the SDGs, RIBA 2030, Whole Building Design Guide, and regenerative design research. The second one, adaptive and inclusive. It bridges gaps in existing tools, prioritizing equity, resilience, and life cycle thinking from the outset. The third one, globally aligned. Actually, each action connects with multiple sustainable development goals, operationalizing them early in the design process. And finally, it offers a practical guidance. It's not just theory. It's a working framework that's designed to guide architects, engineers, and policymakers from concept to delivery. Before I walk you through the 6 actions, let me briefly share how the framework was developed. It's based on a critical literature review of the last decade from 2015 to 2025, covering major areas like building performance, life cycle, carbon, resilience, and social equity. I analyzed key sustainability frameworks like LEED, BREEAM, and WIL, besides global benchmarks. From this, I determined frequent gaps, especially around equity, adaptation, and systems thinking, and synthesized the findings into 6 design actions. The framework is conceptual. However, it lays a research-informed foundation that can be applied and validated through future projects, case studies, and performance analysis. Here is the infographic that summarizes the framework. It's structured around 6 interconnected design actions: climate, site, design, decarbonization, systems, and community. I will walk you through each one very brief. Climate is often treated as the carbon issue, but it's also a comfort, health, and resilience issue. This action ensures that buildings are designed not only for mitigation, but also for climate adaptation, anticipating heat waves, storms, and future climate variability from the very beginning. It includes strategies like climate scenario modeling, passive survivability, and the use of adaptive materials that respond to changing both interior and exterior conditions. Also, buildings should remain safe and comfortable, even during power outages and extreme events. That's what resilience looks like in practice. Site is more than a location, it's ecological intelligence. So this action expands site analysis to include biodiversity, solar and wind exposure, urban heat, and stormwater flow as well. We integrate GIS tools, microclimate modeling, and blue-green infrastructure to shape site-responsive buildings that reduce energy loads, manage water, and enhance environmental quality. So site isn't passive, it's active, shaping performance and well-being from the ground up. The third action is design. Actually, this action focuses on what we designed and how people experience it. It links form, orientation, and materials to well-being, equity, and cultural events. That means using biophilic design, low carbon and non-toxic materials, and flexible layout that adaptive over time. Meanwhile, supporting mental health, sensory comfort, and cultural identity. In other words, good design isn't just efficient, it's human-centered and inclusive. The fourth action is decarbonization. Here we look at the entire carbon life cycle, not just energy use during operation, but also embodied emissions from materials and construction. It includes setting whole life carbon budgets, using LCA tools, and choosing circular materials that can be reused or disassembled later. It also integrates on-site renewables and passive strategies to ensure alignment with net zero and climate positive targets. The fifth one is systems. So buildings today are part of a larger ecological and digital systems, but we often treat them in isolation. This action aimed to focus on system thinking, integrating energy, water, mobility, and data systems from the outset. For example, using BIM, digital twins to track performance and to close the gap between the design intent and real outcomes. It also supports system integration and continuous feedback, so buildings can learn, adapt, and improve over time. Finally, community. This action embeds equity and inclusion into the heart of the design process. That means co-designing with communities, measuring well-being outcomes, and reflecting cultural identity in specialist design. Actually, architecture can either reinforce inequality or foster inclusion and dignity. So this action ensures that buildings serve people, especially the most vulnerable, through accessibility, affordability, and restorative design. Each of these 6 actions is customizable per context, but together they form a unified climate-conscious approach to architecture. Also, as you can see, each one is aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals, which reinforce architecture's power to contribute to global transformation. So what sets these 6 climate-conscious design actions apart? It starts early at the concept stage, not positive design review. It replaces checklists with systems thinking across all 6 domains. Also, it's life cycle based, addressing both operational and embodied carbon. It centers equity, well-being, not add-ons, but built-in principles. It's globally adaptable, flexible across policy and regional contexts. Also, every action links to tangible tools and measurable outcomes. It's grounded in research, but ready for practice. And the most importantly, it aligns with around 10 SDGs, helping us extend the legacy of the 2030 agenda into the future. Where does this leave us? The 2030 agenda is not the finish line, it's a milestone, but the climate challenges we face and the design decisions we make will continue well. Today's tools advance awareness, but remain fragmented, compliance-driven, and mitigation-focused. However, my framework approach offers a unified, inclusive, and resilient path for architecture. Its principles are embedded from the start, not added later. It's designed for real-world leaders, and also it integrates the Sustainable Development Goals, regenerative design, and plenty boundaries into one working approach. So this is a call to rethink. If we want architecture that's not just compliant, but transformative, not just efficient, but equitable and adaptive, then we need frameworks like the Sustainable 6 design actions to bridge vision and practice and take us beyond 2030. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sarah, for a fascinating presentation. You've covered a lot of great points and you've developed a very fascinating culture for us. Before I open questions to the audience, can I ask you a question about how you're going to integrate the practical, the operational aspects of the living space that you're addressing?
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
How are you going to integrate the operations within the space that you are designing based on the 6 principles that you built up here? So the functionality of the building, how is that going to be integrated into your 6 principle model?
Actually, as I mentioned, the framework is adaptable and can be optimized based on the location, the climate, or the requirements of each project.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions from the audience here? No. Well, thank you very much for a fascinating presentation. And it's time to move on to the next group. Thank you very much, Sarah, for being part of this conference. And thank you very much for presenting the concepts that you've developed here.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Okay, for our next presentations, we have 2 youths from America. You are presenting?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, okay. I've got 2 youths presenting from America, Yale University, Kibriti and Mohammed and Hassan. Okay, both have worked in different organizations championing the voice of the youth. And in their presentations, they are addressing the point that youth are the catalyst driving sustainability. They are not just a tick box as part of strategy. I think that's the essence of it. And this is highlighted in some of the community works that you've done with Brooklyn side and the United Nations and the things you've addressed about the Gambit book that you've published. So without any further ado, I'll pass on the mic to you to give a presentation on the youth integration within sustainability.
Awesome. And you want me to download that? Yeah, I will do that.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
So the more I click it,
Close.
close this. Close this one.
Yes.
Press.
Well, now, Professor, you expert and you we should rely on you really.
Awesome.
Where is the one here? I think. No.
That's okay. That's the top.
This one, yeah. This is, yeah. And I will. I read this paper and I can tell you it's really well done paper, really.
Oh, thank you.
So this should be you. And I read this one here.
Amazing.
And then I will to close the, what is it? Sorry, you're going to talk from here. Sorry. So I should disappear now.
Oh, you got
I've
it.
done my part, yeah. Yeah, you need to have your mic.
Oh, I have my mic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. You can start?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Kibriti. and I'll be presenting on Youth as Catalyst for Change, which is a paper that Hassan and I wrote. Before I start, I just want to say thank you to Dr. Alam. I've heard great things from Hassan about you, and thank you to the team that helped bring this conference to life. Yeah, so, and both Hassan and I are both from Yale University in the School of the Environment. This is our presentation. So advancing Youth as Catalyst for Change, advancing environmental sustainability, and as we think about SDG beyond 2030. And really, our main objection for this paper is thinking about like how youth are not necessarily centered, but as we think about beyond SDGs, what are the roles that can youth play in really advancing sustainability and development goals? So, you know, as I think it's no secret that climate change is a big issue right now that's going to impact future generations severely. And it's sort of like an amplifier of a lot of our social problems that we face around the globe. So climate change is intensifying greatly, and youth are going to, the rising generation are going to be the center of that impact. And they sort of like face the disproportionate burden, especially thinking of youth from the global south and how they're greatly severely impacted by climate inaction from especially the Western world. Let me see if there's any other point. Yeah, so in our research framework, really, we just sort of like scan the last decade or so on like, what are academics talking about when it comes to like youth and climate change? And how do youth networks and organizations sort of like influence climate adaptation and mitigation strategies across different global regions? And what are the barriers that are hindering young people in achieving sustainability goals? And how they're influencing decision makers in really making real change? And how do we like sort of think about the institutions that we occupied to basically build better partnership with young people to integrate youth perspectives and to sort of like advance climate justice initiatives. Let's continue. So there's sort of like conceptual framework that really moves us for us. It's thinking about like intergenerational equity, as we learned that how do we think about 7th generation ahead of us, and also how do we bring young folks into this space and conversations that are happening. But also thinking about climate justice. I think you cannot talk about climate change without thinking about climate change from a justice perspective. Not everyone feels the burden of climate change equally. And so how do we address the disproportionate impacts that climate has? But also thinking about like, as someone who has said on like boards like the youth advisory boards, there's sort of like a tokenism that happens where you are just sitting at the table, but not really having a say or have power. Even if you have a say, not necessarily you face a huge hurdle. But so what does meaningful participation looks like in institutional settings that allow youth to actually have huge impacts? So these are sort of like, well, we've sort of like think about like agenda setting, like youth, a great influence of like both mobilizing other young people to come into the space, whether it's like Fridays for the Future with Greta Thunberg, or like the Sunrise Movement in the United States, where you've seen huge mobilization of young people. Hey, we have to fight for climate. This is our future. And also really great at intersecting those issues of climate change. So it's not a singular issue, but how do we connect climate with labor, whether we're talking about Sunrise Movement in the United States or like climate and sort of like the future. But also youth are like very important at setting the agenda. I think it was in Morocco at COP where you had youth holding the banner, this is the agenda for the future. And so both in terms of like acknowledging like formal institution, but also shifting focus to like youth-centered issues that really matter to us. And also thinking about like co-production of policy and how do we bring youth at the table to like produce policies that work for them. And I think for us, the important thing is just climate finance. Like how do we actually provide the finances that are needed to addressing climate issues? But there's a lot of, as we said, there's a lot of systematic barriers that young people face. Whether it's institutional exclusion, where just by the fact of being a youth, you might not be able to participate in the conversations that are taking place, whether it's at the World Bank or in your own country, state level, and so forth. But there's also like political resistance, where youth are not necessarily the most trusted group. Like they see them as just see now, they don't know anything, and they sort of like cannot play an important role. But there's also like a socioeconomic disparities, right? Like how do we get young folks at the table itself? It's a challenge that many young folks face. But we've seen youth organizations, so like think of like Sustain Us, which tries and raise funds to get young people to like COP and other international conferences around the world, whether it's like the World Bank. And so there's efforts that are really trying to get young people at the table, be grounded in decision making. And so, but those are still barriers that a lot of them face, especially in like the global South. And another thing about just the literature itself is that there aren't many research done on like what are young people in the global South actually doing when it comes to addressing climate change. Yeah, so we've seen like some case studies on like how like climate entrepreneurship has risen, whether with startups, we see young folks rising, developing new initiatives to like really address climate and its impact in the local regions. But also you've seen like the Durban Climate Justice trying to bring in young people to be front and center, enhance like community resilience, and try to figure out how do we think of climate solutions to like a youth perspective and also a youth employment issue, because climate solutions do sort of like have a lot of employment opportunities at hand. We've also seen like really because youth have tried many ways of mobilizing, being on the street and so forth, we've seen legal action be taken, right? Whether it's in Montana in the United States, where they've sued the state under like state laws and legal schemes to say, you're not doing enough to address climate change, therefore you are disparaging our future and our goals for like the future. And so you've seen legal lawsuits taking place at the national level that have failed in the United States. So they've looked at like state level actions and legal schemes to take on. But we also have seen like even in Asia with Korea youth suing the government by not taking any sort of action. Yeah, so for us, we think that we have got to sort of dismantle this paternalistic approach when it comes to young folks and participation in climate action. So not just like being there, like we have a youth advisory board, but how can that advisory board have an actual, I guess, breadth and meaning in making meaningful change? So like integrating youth in like official delegation. I would even go as far as to say, how can we have youth have a voting voice? So like not just say something, but actually vote on matters. Thinking of like economic integration. So a lot of youth are very concerned about climate change. And how do we think of climate through like an economic integration strategy? So platforms with like whether it's private, government sector and so forth. And sort of like center marginalized voices in the law, right? Think of like, how do we shift legal schemes that actually are aiming to address, youth issues, climate, and so forth. I think if we're able to do that, I feel like youth will not just be there in a very tokenistic way, but in like an actionable, like real way. So just maybe few recommendations that we highlight in our paper. It's sort of like thinking of mandate co-governance, and that's where this could look as youth not just being at the table, but how are we engaging our young folks to like shape policy. And I'm thinking this at a very localized level. I think simplifying climate finance, I feel like there's a lot of young folks who are interested in taking action on climate change, but how do they tap into that finance piece? I feel like it's a big challenge. And also grant schemes. I'm also thinking of a lot about sort of green skill development, however you want to frame it. I know in the United States, they had like the Green New Deal, which is a sort of like legal framework that's supposed to train folks thinking about climate and climate change. But also institutional justice. So when we think of climate change, how do we think from an institutional justice perspective that basically enable like intergenerational understanding of like the future? Yeah, and so these are sort of like key like sort of success mechanisms, or sort of like policy adoption rate, like how fast are governments across the world adopting policies that merits to youth, legal ruling on like youth participation, climate finance access is it's a big one. Like how many young folks are applying for grants on climate finance and actually receiving them, and sort of like youth decision-making authorities that exist at the table. Yeah, and so finally, again, thinking from like potential to power. So for us, key takeaways like youth innovation is reshaping climate narratives around the globe, and sort of like persistent structural barriers that institutions require to reform are sort of a hindrance to youth participation, and effective like climate action beyond 2030 would require youth role and youth engagement, because we have seen a lot of like uprising as nations are getting warmer, lack of action, stagnation is taking place. We've seen a lot of youth really rising up and fighting. So that's just a brief summarization, but I'm down to just get some question and engage in a conversation briefly. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very fascinating presentation, and well done for including the youth in the presentation as part of the solution, not just an additive to the element.
Yes,
Can
yes.
I be the devil's advocate?
Yes,
Just
yes,
ask
please.
you a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
What do you define as youth?
What I define as youth, let's just go with the UN definition. So whatever the UN consider as youth. But I think, yeah, just to be end at 30.
Okay. Now, the reason I wanted to ask that question is because everything to do with sustainability is based on the experiences to build the future vision. But without the knowledge and the experience, you have the shortcomings of achieving the vision that you want. So defining the youth category in your presentation would have been helpful to help me understand that group that you were addressing.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, understood.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. But does anyone have any questions from the audience?
I have a question for you. So, you guys, so when you sort of selected your university, what did you look for when you were sort of thinking of attending Yale?
When I was attending Yale?
What drew you to Yale? There's a reason why I'm asking this question.
Beyond the funding that they gave me. Yeah, well, I'd applied to 7 schools, and Yale was the only school of the environment that I'd applied to, and that from paper it seemed like a very rigorous program, and the only school that gave me full funding. So I was, yeah.
There's a reason why I'm asking that.
I want to know who participated in your research. Was it the universities, college, or the students?
For us, we just did a literature review. Sorry if that wasn't clear. Yeah, it was we scanned like the literature of like youth participation for the past like decade.
Thank you very much. Please joining me in thanking Kibriti and Hakan for their presentation. Thank you. Okay, well done.
So, protocol is correct, right?
Yeah.
So we would like to, this is for you. You come, and you should be on my right. Well done. Thank you very much for all the way coming this long way. Thank you very much. Well done, Joe. Brilliant. Highly professional by one of the years.
3, 2, 3. Can I come on? Just one step. Yeah. One more. 3, 2. Right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well done. Hassan Zain, he's the co-author. Yeah. Yeah, you can get. Yeah, I think that we can take one with him and then we take one together. Thank you. Well done, Hassan. Really, well done. Really. Yeah, very well.
The
angle. Oh, okay.
Yeah. There you go, Jonathan.
Now you can join us. Yes. So we'll be the two of you in the middle, right? Or where? أنا in the middle, okay, تمام. My pleasure. I'm getting younger now. Okay. 3, 2. Right. Thank you very much. So now we have other, I think someone just reminded me earlier about also, I think, protocol. We should get WAS background here. Where is this one? We have to get. Okay, then we have the team from Saudi Arabia. So I think there are 4 of you. So we'll give you our paper, our certificate, and we'll give you your certificate and your 2 other professors. So, Mohammed, you want to clarify? So, yes, you're here, yeah. Thank you. So this is for Riham, really well done. It's not, guys, just fixing. Okay. Oh, we have to go to the same thing. Okay. This one again. Yeah. Good. 3, 2, 3. Right. Okay. Thank you. And these are the 3. We will give it to you. Your this is yours. Your Layla. And this is your other 2. I think you're 4, right?
No, yes, we're
4. And we send them all our best wishes.
Thank you very much.
Now, I think we're going to have a big, we're all waiting for the Elsevier talk. Before we go, I remember I told you that the surprise, nice for you. You will hear it for the first time. And then we'll grab a quick coffee. And then we will go for the last session. And then we'll go. Can I want you to think while, or I will bring that whiteboard and I will show you. Muhammad, can you, if you don't mind, can you just bring that whiteboard with the pen? It might make my life easier. What is it? Not the blind. What do we call it? Not. What do we call it? The flip chart one. I want to. It's a big surprise for me. Even it's a nice surprise, very nice, and I'm really proud of what. Why this one is not okay? Accept all, okay? Because I'm really. We have to stick to the time. Now I want to show you something really interesting. It's 2 minutes. Don't worry. By the way, our video channel is one of the many people. They said one of the most comprehensive. Everything we got: politicians, lecturers, CEOs, women, United Nations, Prime Minister. Everything is there. So please share it with your students and encourage them to watch it. Okay. I will show you just one because. Oh, I think we're going the wrong way. Sorry. There's a lot of them. I will just skip them quickly. Let me show you this video quickly. Really not sure. Yeah, this one. Can we all watch it? Now, this was our 20th anniversary video. We had our 20th anniversary 3 years ago. I was here in London. And while we are just preparing for the anniversary, we ask all the people, the founding members, to start to suggest how we do it, and so on and so forth. So one of the ideas, definitely we need to document what we have done. And we have done a lot of things, publishing, conferences. And then we try to put everything, because it's a history from 1999. So at that time, because this is falling very well with just being presented about the youth, we had a very successful volunteering project, particularly with China. Lots of Chinese students joining this program. They like WSD. And came one of the students, I interviewed all of them. I was very keen to interview them. And in that one of the interview at that time, one of the students said, I love doing videos and I would like to do I asked them, what do you want to do? And she was just talking about videos. I love doing videos. I like to do videos, and so on and so on. And when I went back and I said to my team, I said, one of the volunteers, she said she would like to do the videos for us, to help us with videos. They said, no, Alam, but for the anniversary, we need to get a professional company, professional. People like Mazin, for example, which we call them professional. I don't know, something inside me told me this girl or this student was so passionate about what she wanted to do. So very clear in her wording, in her even in her humble way of want. I said, fine. We gave her the material and we told her the story, what WSD did, and we told her everything we do is considered by people as boring, science and technology and so on. Can you make it exciting? So the video covering our journey from 1999 until 2023, she covered it in 16 minutes. We said to her, fine, but we need a shorter version so people cannot watch 16. That will be documentary. She did this. When we show it to, I think, almost 40, I am the youngest, older than me, all of them, fantastic. No one, not a single one out of the 40. And we said that actually in Geneva last year. Now, that girl, this video endorsed, and it went to the anniversary and it became our anniversary. Then she said, one day, Alam, I would like to come and study at Oxford. And we said to her, yes, what can we do? She said, write me a reference letter. We did. She didn't get it last year. She got it this year. And she's now in Oxford University. Now, more importantly, when she was planning to come to Oxford, and also Queen Mary was one of the suggestions, or LSE was one of the other courses we supported her. We said to her, now we moved from 2003 to 2004. And there's a lot of new things. We went to Geneva on a new project, SDGs. She said, yes, she will complete the story for 2024. And then she couldn't come last year. Guess what? She got the acceptance this year at Oxford, and she came. And I think one of the tasks we're going to wait for her to complete 2024, 2025, and going to 2026. And guess what? She is sitting there. Can you come when you see her? Come here, Lucia. Tomorrow, unfortunately, you come today. You're not coming tomorrow, right? But number one, we are so proud of you. And we told you this before even you flew from China, but this is the beauty of what we do. WSD is really about making things scale. This project was then executed completely online without us seeing her right away from China. And she's here in front of you. And this is a video endorsed by everyone. Everyone liked it. And then we endorsed it, and you can see it here on our website. So thank you so much. We thank you before, we gave you a certificate, but this is a real thing now. I'm happy you're here now and you're at Oxford now. So how do you feel?
Good job.
Very good.
Oh, yeah, I haven't expected that I'm going to talk about in public, especially in UK. I'm so moved when I came to UK 2 months ago, and Ali just contacted me and he told me lots of information that I really need to use to have a life there. And I really appreciate WSD, all the experience I spent here. It actually improved me, I think. And it's a great honor to meet lots of outstanding people here. And I don't know how to say that because Actually, there's old Chinese saying that a friend come from the far away, and you treat them with the greatest gratitude and thanks. That's what I want to say to all of you. It's great. It's really a great honor to meet all of you, and hope we can have a deep communication in the future. And thank you, Adam.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have our colleague Suzanne. She's leading the SDG lab at Oxford. We didn't tell her because we said number one, we need to see her. She's ours, and then we will connect her with Oxford. We have a very strong people in Oxford doing SDG labs in your university. We wish to see you. Definitely, we'll follow you until you become a graduate from here. But how do you feel? You see your work and just at the volunteering, which is all this was broadcasted at the UN. How do you feel about what you have done personally? Everyone have seen your video and they like it.
I think never underestimate the power of the social media tools or platform, especially in this website era. I think actually I haven't expected my video
this is one of them actually
produced by myself could be transported into UN or here. I mean, just but any opportunity you can get. I think I'm so thankful to the old me to bravely take part into the WSD work.
And I will add something. Don't underestimate the power of young people like you, and don't underestimate the power of Lucy. You are both. Thank you very much. I think we will go. If you want to grab quickly your coffee before, if you want to go and grab anything, but grab it and come back while she's setting up. This is going to be a really all of us waiting for this lecture. Elsevier, the people who's really, and luckily the top knowledge management expert is just arrived, which is going to be watched. So, can you, if you want to take anything, just quickly grab it and come. And Sahar, we will let you. What do you want? Lena, ask them to take. What do you want? What do you want? I can get to you. جدا يجيب لك المويه عادي. انت ظبطي حالك يلا.
لانه انا رسلت لهم البنات قلت لهم I have a small chain.
Yes. No. Yes. لانه اللكشر ده مهم ليه؟ لانه حيشوفوه هو النتورك بعدين يعني وقت راح تظبطي حالك تمام يعني مازن عليك تمام. اللكشر ده والله فيري امبورتنت لانه راح يتكلم عن اهم حاجه عندنا. الدنيا دي كلها بتتكلم عن الداتا. ايوه. فظبطها تمام عشان الريكوردنج ده هو المهم يا سحر. طيب انت واخدي راحتك.
سو انا بس الوورد
انت جبتي في USB؟
لا مش انا رسلت لجوان اليا.
اوكي
ماشي. شي uploaded it. فانا بس
قدرت تعدلي فيه.
ايوه بس wherever it is I need to just edit it basically.
انا الان برفعه لك هنا.
لكن عندي اللابتوب بتاعي so I can connect as well مع اللابتوب.
بريحك مازن اللابتوب بيجي معاه اوكي.
What's the quickest؟ لان اللابتوب I think you can.
جيبي تعالي اعمل اي حاجه هذا. بروفيسور you came on the right time.
اللابتوب ما هنوصل اللابتوب. انت just send it to here. Just work on your laptop, no problem. But we'll send it here, and then you'll screen it here.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, I'm very Thursday. Yeah. So when we have some journals that we associate to get them very topics, and I'm reading the new Poland topics. Earlier they had a years down the line, but they have removed this. Just recently I read it. And the next step, I just send the question. Okay. And this negotiation. Now the scenario is that keep on. Yeah. So otherwise they will.
And they told me that now the scenario is that the ethical statement, data privacy issues, one volume should be published, which should be accessible to everyone. I mean, these were the criteria mentioned.
Yeah, it's,
not,
it's a bit of a stricter
yeah,
criteria.
yeah,
Yes, yeah.
not the one earlier that a journal should be working for 2 years.
Okay.
This has been removed. So, because I sent query to Scopus directly on that. So probably I would like to check with you because we had journals working very well,
Yeah.
Completing all the prerequisites. All we need is to submit to Scopus formally.
Yeah. So the way to do it is, so have you gone through the submission? Yani you've like
No, I didn't do it. I knew you were coming.
yeah
So I
no no
thought,
so the best thing is to actually do it straight away. Go online because there is like a
I know about the,
yeah.
the links and everything.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I just wanted to check with you. Probably you can be a
What I-
stimulator.
What I will do is I will see, because I mean the criteria for Scopus is actually set independently of us. It's actually a panel of advisors
True.
that they actually make that
And the
decision.
same journal with Professor Alam. I don't have a journal. I'm talking about the same journal.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Yeah, that they
Yeah.
are completely independent of us. They're actually professors like yourself, researchers as well.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
make those decisions.
yeah.
So yeah. So all I can do is basically give you the criteria that is actually set. But yeah, happy
Although
to-
it's available online, but getting from you will be
happy. Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna share also my information on the presentation. So feel
Probably
free
it's gonna solve a problem.
Yeah, feel free to just email, no problem.
Thank you, my dear.
جاهز شغل تشتغل
بس اللي عندك سكيلز
سكيلز
مثلا في عدد كبير هاي اوفر كواليفايد الحين بيجي الجامعة لا اشتغل على دبلومات
نايس
ما اعرف اذا نايس ولا مو نايس لانه there is a fine background
اي صح
there is
الجامعات بالضبط وانتم تقبلوا البعثات كمان انتم اصلا هيئه حكومي يدخل بدون ايوه انا ممتاز حياتي لك سعيون كويس
والله.
رياضه
so you know already
ملك سعود درست انجليزي
sorry you need something some coffee or
I'm absolutely fine. I think just the water is
sure
yeah.
okay because I'm going to grab a cup
Yeah, no, I think no, honestly I'm absolutely fine. Yeah.
just a cup like
Yeah.
some juice or something
Water please. Yeah.
okay they're bringing some water.
Okay, thank you.
I'm so happy that I could see you guys all today. You all are mashallah,
Thank you.
doing great in your life. How is the cup? Is it hot water? Now it's hot? Okay, good. Because they said earlier on they forgot to put on the machine. That's what it was called. See? So let me just get the coffee because it was not cold. It was now.
Sorry, Mazen, I probably need your help actually. So yeah, because usually no, I know أرسلت لهم بالإيميل جبت I send it across to them يعني, so they should have it somewhere. بس
كلم يوان شوف يوان
yeah. So she and Joanne told me they have uploaded it, so it should be there.
لكن بيبنوا بالقوانين
I have no idea. And I can connect.
هنا
لا.
من ديل
No, it's not one of them. I've seen it.
طيب برا في ديسكتوب ممكن
Possibly. إذا في أي عندهم folder that's showing.
الإيميل يا إيميل
يمكن
كده
أنا
إيميل.
No, أنا رسلته ليوان, so she said it's ready, but where they have saved it, I have no idea.
This is a different device because we were downstairs yesterday.
ما هو usually is that so what I did is if I click the HDMI, okay, my screen shows. The only problem is that I'm not sure if other people can see my. I'm not sure if people can actually see my.
Zoom in.
Yeah.
انت اشتغلي عادي وهرسلي مره ثانيه موضوع مو خطير. انت هظبط حاجه قلت صح؟
No, it's this. Oh, it's done actually. This one, يعني. What I can do is send this one to Alam's email.
Yeah, Alam, we can open it here.
Okay, so what I will probably then do, okay, let me get the network.
The thing I always say to students when they're doing research, I say to them, at this point in the world, you know more about this. Exactly. And once you know that,
I don't know what done with my mobile guy.
this is what they told her nobody knows about this stuff more than you. Yes. And she's good. What is her background? She's also my friend. Okay. Honestly, I didn't think it was her first time. You must say that we didn't realize. We thought she does it all the time.
إلا رسول Alam بالإيميل now.
She's just nervous because you would be here. That's all. You know, you're her mentor, you're her trainer, you're her teacher, you're her professor. But it's always scary because then you can your person. You know. So Ramash, she's ربنا بس كمل شوف على كان بكمل إن شاء الله إن شاء الله إن شاء الله فضل لك كم
Right over the dome or
So let me just
nice place.
Yes. Is it a master's or is it a master's?
Still having a conference and if you can, because what we do from here, we're going to take a boat.
Once they've completed
the river.
Do you have scope to
After that, we can be okay. If you can get away from
So Yuran said it's been developed ليا. Yeah, so I think it's easy if I just share to Alam.
عندك الإيميل صح؟
Yeah.
Are you ready?
شكرا. Thank you.
You ready, Amal? محمد حسن سعيد. بديك تفاصيل كلها.
Alam, the email I was asked earlier. أرسله Yuan, which I did. So I don't know where she saved it. So Anna, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you.
Yes.
I'm going to forward it onto you the email. If
yes,
that's okay.
It's Prof Alam. Send it to Prof Alam. Prof Alam Ahmed @gmail.com. Which is open already.
Okay. Just wait for this. لأنه الإنترنت بتاعي شوية.
ما في مشكلة. ده حيجي هنا. وده كده ما داري شاي ولا قهوة ولا حاجة.
أجيب لي موية.
يعني هنطلع من هنا هنمشي نتعشى جنب إن شاء الله يتوفق في جنب البحر جنب أوكسفورد.
أوكي.
لا ماشيين أحسن أيوه لأنه
كده. أوكي. أيوه ما أجيب منها. I might use my mobile لأنه أنا رسلت.
لا ما مشى.
لا ما رسل.
بدي اقتراح هو heavy.
It's not heavy يعني.
هذا رسلي لي واتساب وأنا بحوله على موبايل إيميلي.
No, what I'm going to do is just الإيميل اللي رسلته ليوان جبالك. I'll just forward it on to you.
لا بروف علام أحمد @gmail.
بروف.
المفروض يصير لك يعني كامل. بروف علام أحمد @gmail.com. Gmail.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know ليه ما مش ليه.
والله غريبة. علام أحمد مش مكتوبة صح؟
يا علام أحمد يا.
ايوه كويس ما اي حاجه كله تمام عمل له كده
لا ما this meant to يعني it's supposed to it goes blue.
ايوه ليه لك عندك مشكله في النت ده بوريك الواي فاي بتاع هنا هكذا لو
Yes.
Maybe let's search directly, but I don't need to.
بتاع يورم ده قبل السنه للناس
انا لانه الريلكس they won't allow me في الادرا مين اللي حيكون يعني guest ولا حاجه يا
ها ده ما خلوك تخش يوم
ادرا خلاص اوكي let me just see.
Almost invariably comes back, oh, it's a lie. It's a great paper. Well done for the It's a business now. It's a business. Yeah, it's a business. Because, you know, I'll tell you a story.
هذا الاوبشن ترسلي لي في الواتساب بس
في الواتساب
مش عندك واتساب انت؟
يا في
الواتساب مش عندك؟
في عندي الواتساب في
فتح معاك؟ لا دي كلمة
أنا ما عارفة ليه why it's not this one يعني it's not allowed me to forward it.
أنت رسلت لها في إيميلها.
رسلتها في الإيميل وهي
دقيقة ما هي المفروض تكون جابته لي طيب.
قلت لها إنه
دقيقة. المفروض تكون رسلته لي. He said no. Okay, so give me just 1 minute. I will walk with you. Okay. Two after now. ده هيفتحهم كلهم ده المشكلة. ده كبير شديد. في كل
Okay, so what I might do أنا هعمل له forward my mobile my
كويس. بعد ذاك هتلاقي في الواتساب بنزل لك
بعد ذاك هعمل بالواتساب أيوه.
They're making lots of money out of it. They are making lots of. No, the problem is from the university side. They put this requirement. Yes. The requirement to have a requirement to have a publication in Web of Science, Science Cited, or Social Science Cited. A requirement to have a business available, or this is the management streams. They have it. They would like to do a good research, get a simple publication. But now the publishing companies are making lots of money because of the indexing, which is the saddest part. And this is the big, you can say, dirty business here. People are, and somehow we are also becoming a part of it. Yes. I'm a part of it. So how to deny this? I'm a part of it. I'm promoting myself that I have interest in this.
But actually, your promotion is tough. If you don't have it, you don't get promoted.
Exactly. Your CV will not be entertained.
At all.
You do not have a category publication, or you are not a good candidate. For example, I'm teaching very well to my students. President of the ministers. I'm working very hard with this. I'm things out doing lots of research work with them and being a part of their research process. So their conditions is only they tell me that Arshi, this year I need promotion. I need 2 social science or science index process. Help us. This is the story. Individual, these are individual goals. I just, for me, I love teaching. These are my passions. When you put me to teach, I just feel listening. I feel very with my students like this.
And you've been more worried about your student than not student.
Yes.
She's been worried about her student. And her student is. But that is the beauty of being a
Even today, my students from they contact me. And I have to be available for them.
Yeah. Your students are students, and that is the beauty of it. But the sad thing is that there doesn't seem to be this I don't know if they wanted to teach, but
very
they
proud of this because of two reasons. First of all, the respect that we get, and the second thing, yeah, lifelong. And the second thing that in my faith, in my religion, it says that there is something that continues benefiting you even after you're dead. What you call that is so this education, Islam education in one, and this education, Talim, even my death, you know, it will be benefiting me.
But that's why we have a problem. So there's tendency that the mental capacity doesn't work out. It's not important, not sexy, it's not as a consequence, the institutions think like that. The institutions are like, you know, are you a current shaker? Who wouldn't shake up for them? You know, for 20 years and whatever. That's one thing. But in the office, I remember my bosses, they were teaching, but the teacher, now it is not like that. What I feel sad about is people don't think of the lifelong benefits. Yeah. Lifelong and afterlife. But this is what you do. Let's carry over. Here goes on forever. But this is what I think most of them
imagine, Mr. I applied for the past 2 years. I'm applying to get a foothold in my CV is good. I'm proud of my CV. And just maybe twice I was shortlisted because they did not put this criteria in the application. That's sponsorship and some kind of, you know. Otherwise, they're not meeting their eligibility criteria because they say, at the end of the contract, you don't have work grades. Progression.
It's becoming like that.
Especially after COVID.
After COVID, it's worse, and now it's part of the government and the regulation. Usually, there is a reason. You just sometimes you're in a decent space. This is the way you think you should be. You could
So أنا that's it. Yeah. So أنا عملت شنو؟ I have to do. Yeah.
ما مش اسمه يهودا؟
ده اللي هو أيوة. I had to do so many يعني.
مش يهودا؟
ضيع.
خلاص ما في مشكلة.
So many يعني.
لا أصل مين ده هو الدايرة وأنتي؟
يا ده اللي هو أنا عاوزاه.
لأنه حيسجل يا سلام.
اوكي.
نفس الفيديو ده بيخدم لنا خدمه كثيره مع ناس
ما مشكله
كلهم هيشوفوه بيظبطوا كويس يعني ويخطوا. خليه يفتح لك كده مش تمام معاك؟
ايوه اتس اوكي. قول له كانسل، قول له كانسل. ما اعرف ليه هو بيعمل لي كده. وبعد ذاك انا بس في حاجه بس يا هو اي ونت
بس نعمل شير للناس اللي لسه متابعيننا في الجنايه دي.
بس قبل ما تعمل شير بيجي معلش.
لا براحتك
اي ونت تو
عدي الحاجة؟
يا عدي الحاجة لأنه
Can I say something while she's finishing her? We're going to have dinner in a restaurant near London. Very easy.
Okay.
Yes, because I thought that might be nice to see. That area is nice. Okay? So from here, we have two options. You have to keep careful. We're going to take the train anyway. The Jubilee. Yeah. Either we take that train straight to Westminster.
Yeah, yes.
And then from there we can walk. You enjoy the walk and then you go to the restaurant. Or some suggestions came to me in the phone. Actually, it's fantastic. Rather than we take the train to Westminster, we take the train to the next stop. Yesterday, you remember last night? Yes. And we get off and we take the boat. The boat will take us straight to the near the bar.
In London, by
Boat.
Okay.
See, is good. This is actually one of the important.
We go by right?
Yes, so we'll take the train from here to North Greenwich. We take the boat, and we take the boat to the river.
But hang on, I don't want to be a party pooper, but I'm very sorry. It is, are you talking about the boat that you take as a commuter?
Yes.
So that boat at this time of night would be full.
I don't know.
So you'll have to take your chances. That's all I'm saying.
What?
Uber it is then.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so
Yeah, I know.
you finished?
So yeah, I'm good. So it's
If you're good, let's share it with the people who are watching
okay.
you.
So how do I?
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I'm good. خلاص
Okay.
يعني good. Do you need me to have a microphone?
ايوه yes يا مازن. This one مهم جدا. اسحب عليه ساعه لو كنت تتكلمي لو وقفت هنا عشان السكرين دي تظبط تمام.
Yeah, okay.
انا مازن جاي. انا بظبط لك الشير. خلاص
This is fun, yeah.
This one, put it on, yeah, flip it on anywhere. Maybe on the.
فوالله it's a good point, but what do you think? Think about it.
هتحركي ولا هتكوني ثابتة؟
I probably يعني I might just stand يعني. لابس على كده. But that I could hold this in my hand.
Okay, she knows better. خلاص we take the train. Okay. Train we go to Westminster.
So
okay, Professor. It's a nice.
Most of them, okay. That's all right. So then,
very nice. And that area actually by life getting better and better.
Okay.
No, we're going to go to something called waterfall near Vauxhall Beach.
Okay.
And we managed to get table outside.
In this weather, you're doing table outside.
Because I think it's not bad the weather.
It's not raining, but it's going to be a bit cold.
We'll see. We can go inside.
Okay, everybody in your clothes.
Shall I screen or shall I share the screen or the slide? Share the screen, not sliding.
The slide.
Slide, okay.
Aye.
But then I need to just make it okay.
No, give 1 second. I want to make sure it's recording, right?
Yes, it is.
Here.
I will make it.
I bet that I will make sure it's recording. What?
Yeah, I think so. We can only make it up. It says recording. Yeah, it's recording.
It's recording.
Yeah.
So يا سحر كده تمام انت جاهزة.
Yeah.
خلاص خليني اقدمك بس. Okay. I think I'm loud anyway. Sorry مازن والله because you're out of.
Wow, that's right. That's right.
Okay. Thank you very much for being patient. Particularly, I'm really grateful for you on the Zoom. They've been patient from the morning, particularly those from India, early morning there. I think it's too late now. So we're going to have our concluding keynote today with Sahar. We're very grateful, Sahar, for coming and giving this particular lecture. Sahar is leading, and he has been working with data management and research data analytics for many years. University of Sussex and many years. So one of the experts really in this field. But she's going to talk to us about a very important topic. We hear it yesterday, remember? We hear it today, we hear it everywhere we go. Scopus, the data from Elsevier, the data. Elsevier is a custodian of our global data, really, research data. So she's going to talk to us about something very important, partnering for progress, which is very good. That is the word we use now in SDGs, progress. How Elsevier is supporting research organization with their SDG strategy, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So I think those in the Zoom, once we finish, we will not interrupt her. Once we finish, we will also give you the chance, but this is recorded, and we will share it with everyone. I know it's too late now in China and every other places. So Sahar, the floor is yours, and go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you, Alam. So thank you for having me here. It's actually such a privilege to be presenting today at the West Conference. Alam and I go way back as one of my oldest teacher in Sussex Uni, so I know him fairly well. Really, I am here because I wanted to. I'm hoping by the end of my talk, you'll actually see that Elsevier is not just we are a publisher, but we are also your partner as well. And I'm hoping that I'll provide you some really key insights that is going to help you with your work going forward. So without further ado, so yes, Elsevier, SDGs are really important to us. We do track a lot of the data. For us, this is something that we see as a really key thing, globally as well. So we have a key partnership with the UN on this, and a lot of our data feeds also into informing basically into also different stakeholders around the research ecosystem. So what I'm really hoping to do is to provide just an overview of what we do as an organization. I know many of you probably see us from the publishing side, but we are also an analytical data company as well. And it's the insight coming from the data technology side that I'm really hoping it will shine some light today for you, and it will actually give you some clarity. So what I'm hoping to do is give you a glimpse of Elsevier. We'll talk a little bit. We're going to go through the historical timeline as to what shaped the company so far. And then I really want to just cultivate it with a case study that an esteemed colleague of mine has been doing, actually using data embedded into Scopus and mapping the Sustainable Development Goals. So I'm hoping that will be quite useful for you. Unfortunately, he really wanted to come and actually do this presentation, but unfortunately he can't make it. So I'm here presenting on behalf of the company, but I'm also shedding light to his case study as well. So for some of you who in the room and also online that you don't know Elsevier much, I'm sure you do. We are essentially one of the big giant of academic publishing. Our history goes back to the 1880s, so more than 2 centuries, let's just say. It's essentially a publishing company, but since the 90s we've really transformed into that digital transformation by first acquiring the Cell. Then we introduced Science Direct, which I'm sure quite a few in the room know what I'm talking about. And then in the late 90s we bought in The Lancet. Then move on into say starting with the noughties. We developed an abstract database called Scopus.com, which is all of you in this room and online also are aware of. So really, I think just with the advancement of technology, that's helped us kind of spearheaded that kind of thing. Then moving on to the 2010s, we then branched not just from bibliographic databases, but we've also gone into research data management. So you may have heard of a system called Pure. You may have heard of a system called Clinical Key, Scival, Engineering Villages. This is amongst the many solutions that we have. So essentially, the organization, there is the publishing side of things, which is the core side of Elsevier, and we've also now got the analytical data side of it, which is the part I'm actually part of that. Then starting in the 20s, we've started to embrace open science and solutions. And I know openness and open science, open access, etc., is very, very key for a lot of the researchers globally. So we started to embrace that, and as a company that we usually are not seen in that way, but we are. And one of the things we have done is start looking at the Sustainable Development Goals. So when the SDGs were first introduced, we have a company called, a group called, based in Canada, called Science Metrics. And what they do a wonderful group of data scientists. They literally map out the publications that we have indexed in Scopus against the definition of the SDGs that we have. So the way we define the SDGs is using some key terminologies relevant to each SDG, plus some machine learning algorithm. So that way we're able then to map all the publications in Scopus, and that's 105 million documents to date. All of them indexed in Scopus, mapping them against those SDGs. So wherever we see that a publication is matched to an SDG, we can assign that into Scopus.com, and then it also transfers into other solutions, so like Pure, Scival, and other data platforms we've got. Okay. So then we're, the big thing at the moment is Gen AI. I mean, this is, it's a big thing. So I really have to say, as a as I've got family members who are researchers in AI and deep learning, and then introduction of ChatGPT being out in the market, we as an organization have ended up being the first in our amongst our peers, basically going ahead into that, and actually Scopus AI being the first AI solution we have evolved. So since then, I mean, we've launched that in 2024, and we have seen it taken up really much quickly globally. Global South, actually, quite a few nations in the Global South have adopted it. Egypt being one of the strongest at the moment we've got as a nation. The team there have done really wonderful. Scopus AI, they've got Scopus AI, Clinical Key AI, Science Direct AI. So they've really kind of gone with it there. China is another country as well that we've seen AI adoption increase a lot. And then also in Europe, say places like Sweden and the likes. And then the latest announcement we have is something called Leap Space. I am allowed to talk about it. It's because we have publicly now announced it. So this is really something that has been developed with all of you in the room and online in mind. We have worked with researchers across the globe to produce this. And we're hoping the launch will be officially, it'll be out in the market as of January, actually. So as of a few weeks. And in fact, like I said, few of the countries I've mentioned just now, they already started to kind of look into Leap Space. So the point of it is just it's supposed to help you as a researcher and also your students as well, going from the early journey of being literature reviewing to finding collaborators, etc., to all the way to the acquiring funding. So it's all really developed around the researcher. Okay, so that's kind of just a brief history of Elsevier. So with us as an organization, in the slide just previously, so we as Elsevier, so Elsevier being a Dutch company, we formed with a UK-based company, Reed International, in the early 90s, and is now known as the RELX Group. So our parent company is the RELX Group. Now, at the RELX Group, the RELX do a lot of work with the UN on the Sustainable Development Goal. This link I have on my slide, it's a free resource, and probably actually some of your publications are actually in that free resource there. So I have that link on the slide. Once the slide gets shared, please go into that. It's such a fantastic portal for just documents attached to SDGs. So I thought it was worth highlighting that for you as an organization. So just going to talk a little bit about the SDGs and just where they are embedded also into our solutions. Some of you probably be our customers of ours. Most of you have Scopus.com. I'm just going to highlight a few places where it is. And the reason why I really want to focus on this is, so I spent some time when I was at Sussex working with researchers like Alam and other professors as well in the schools, talking more about sort of post-publication stage. So things like, when your research is out there and it's been cited, what happens to that citation? Where does your research goes? Okay, measure visibility, tracks your work, your data is out there. And the key for me is really to say to you, one publication output can make a huge difference. Okay, and I have seen this happen. Okay. The other thing is as well, this is data, it's your data, it's embedded in solutions, not just our solutions, it's also embedded in other databases as well, okay? And the thing about it is that this data, through the citation lens, through the publication, a publication is so powerful because it allows us to see, we track the metadata on those publications, we can see which organization you're affiliated with, who you're collaborating with, and funders are also looking at this data as well, okay? Because you are all here, you're researchers, you want to get funding in order to continue your research, right? The funders are really looking at this data and it helps them to understand your research ecosystem, okay? So it's very powerful. And in my opinion, it's something that, I love educating everyone about it because I think data can bring some really insight. So about Scopus, I've just highlighted a minute ago, Scopus draws information from about 7,000 publishers across the globe. So it's not just Elsevier content. This is a myth. Everybody thinks it's predominantly Elsevier. No. Also, our journals have to go through the criteria that is set by the Scopus.com panel advisors. Now, the panel advisors, this is really key for everybody in the room, they are independent of us, Elsevier. They are not hired by us. They're a group of professors like yourself, subject matter experts across the globe. So they set the criteria, okay? And you want to publish in a particular journal, you know, let's say you want to present in a conference. If, let's say, that journal does not exist, okay, it's not indexed in Scopus, it's not because we have not allowed it, it's because there is a set criteria that it has not met, okay? So you have to ask whoever the editors of the journals, and this is my key information here for you, whoever is the editor of the journal, please ask them if they can submit a request for that title to be indexed in Scopus. And then it goes through this set of criteria, okay? And if it doesn't go through, that's because they haven't met that criteria, okay? So really, really key, it's independent of us, Elsevier. Okay, and we actually, you know, as an organization, we like that independency. Okay, so even some of our journals are not indexed in the Scopus.com. So the Scopus.com gets updated daily. It's not just journals, it's books as well, conference proceedings. We've also got some preprint in there as well, and the data types are also expanding. So this is the key thing about it. And then what Scopus.com does, the information on there, it informs quite a bit of our solutions across the organization. Okay? So, Alam, I hope you don't mind me. I kind of took a snippet of your Scopus author profile, okay? And the reason why I wanted to highlight this, because anyone who has access to this, to Scopus.com, can view everybody else's profile. My key thing to you as researchers, please do go and check your profile in Scopus.com, okay? Things around visibility, right? Like I said, organizations like funders, right? Corporates as well, by the way, have access to Scopus.com. They're looking for collaborators. You are the experts in the room. They have the money. Just saying. You want me to? Okay, right? So, yeah. So the reason why I've highlighted the profile and I've taken Alam's snippet here, this is not showing all Alam's publication, but what this is showing is Alam's publication indexed in Scopus to date and being matched against the SDGs. Yeah. Okay. So measure visibility here. This is my key message. And like I said, with that, funders are looking at it, collaborators, potential collaborators, students who are looking for PIs, right? They also couldn't view this data as well. But this is people who have got access to Scopus.com. Another thing, SciVal. So SciVal is a research intelligence solution. And what SciVal does, it tracks a lot of the data from Scopus.com, and it basically gives you some powerful insights. So I am a SciVal expert. This is what I used to work with. And what I want to highlight here is how SDGs are shown in SciVal. So at the moment, because we are, Alam is linked to Queen Mary University of London, you can pull up an institutional profile and you're able to see from an institutional level, the publication matched in Scopus.com, matched against the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Quite powerful as well as a thing. Hands up in the room, who has heard of Pure? Okay, Alam, you know about Pure. Okay, so Pure is a research information management system. It's embedded into, it's a repository basically, and it gets embedded into organizations. I think Queen Mary, you've got a different system. But again, just to highlight here, measure of visibility. I think researchers based in the UK, as you know, we have the REF cycle that happens every 5 years. This is really important for that as well. Again, measure visibility. Anyone actually on the university website, so I pulled this up from the University of Manchester, who have got Pure. And what Manchester have done, they've actually got one of the strongest, I think, kind of Pure websites out there. So somebody who is looking to find a potential collaborator, for instance, and trying to track someone in a particular area can literally go into the website, filter by a particular SDG, and then a list of researchers pull up. And we're looking at Farha Ahmed here. But what's key is about the fact that you've got the SDGs linked to her profile, okay? And ranking. I think so. The presentation we saw earlier from the youth, I asked the question around how did they, when they looked for the university, what made them decide for that particular university? Your research, okay, indexed in Scopus. Scopus is a data provider for the THE and QS as well. And now THE have been on the impact, tracking impact for a number of years now. I guarantee you your research has had influence on those impact ranking, on those world ranking. The younger generation, I've got a sister who's Gen Z, right? They are very sustainably conscious, they're ethically conscious. A lot of universities we work with in the UK and globally, impact is THE impact ranking and the QS sustainability ranking is very important to them, okay? So I think as a researchers, you need to be also quite aware of that. Really useful insights. And we know that students, they care about these things. So for them, they want to know that the university they're going to, they're applying to, what kind of sustainability they are doing. So I want to finalize this with a key study that my colleague, Professor Carlos Enrico de Brito Cruz. So Carlos, Brito, he was lead head of the funders in Brazil, and he's working with us Elsevier. So there is, in addition to being a publishing company, being also an analytical data company, we have a group of, to me, in my mind, wonderful people like yourself who are either ex-professors or current professors, ex-funders, etc., that they actually work with us and they are employed by Elsevier. And their role is to work with global organizations, so like the UN. So Carlos actually does sit on the UN working group. I think it's the UN 10-member group. So he's part of that. And I know he really wanted to come today as well. And he's happy to kind of just, Alam also get to talk to you in the future. So what Carlos has been, what Brito has been doing is looking at Scopus.com data, and where publication is matched against SDGs, studying the patterns since the, I think it's early 90s, okay? So over time. So it's quite interesting, this study, because what it is a comparative study showing SDG-related publications coming from lower income countries versus higher income countries. And what I'm going to do, I'm probably just going to skip this slide. I'm going to skip this one, and I'm just going to get you to have a look at this chart here. I have to say, when we talked about this, I found this really, really interesting. Okay, so what we see here is the red line is publication matched coming from lower middle income countries versus the blue line coming from the higher income countries. And what we start seeing is that since 95, there's a steady decline from publications coming from higher income countries versus the red, which is lower middle income countries. And then around 2020, so post the pandemic, around this, it's just actually the more publication is coming from the lower middle income countries. So it's a really interesting thing because, we have the accessibility data. So Brito has actually been, he spoke about this to a UN panel group recently, and it's a very powerful information in my mind. Gives a nice, interesting, clear picture here. And then this chart here I'm showing is, so this is basically looking at publication. So if you're looking on the chart on the top, top left corner, it's all publications, and then the other charts is linking it to particular SDGs. And where ones we've seen, the increase is really sort of expanded. Okay, so the reason why UN, Brito has talked about this to the UN because this thing about being sustainable, equity, etc., very important. This is why the SDGs are developed, and this is the powerful data that actually highlights all the work there, and the fact that countries in lower middle income are actually on the rise on this. And then to highlight this one here, so it's not just publications coming from those countries, but it's also funding. And I think there's a miss here. So I remember when I was talking to Brito about this, he was telling me that there is an assumption that actually publication may come from lower middle income countries, but funding is coming from elsewhere. But actually that's not true. So lower middle income countries are also funding sustainable development related research. We see China doing exceptionally recently, but then there's also South Africa in there as well, quite a lot of Chinese funders, a few Indian funders, Brazilian as well. I think right at the top also Russia as well. So, you know, it's not just research is happening from those countries, but also funding is also coming from those countries as well, which means it's very, very important. Yeah, so everyone is really talking about kind of focus on here. Okay. So with that, I think the conclusion is that a lot of the work that you all do, all right, it is making a difference. It really is making a difference. I mean, I'm quite privileged sitting from an organization like Elsevier. I really can see the global stage. And I see how countries, you know, are really using this data just to help them improve life, really. Okay, and to me, one of the things I love about working, you know, in Elsevier, supporting higher education, because I am a true believer that I think education, to me, if anyone has the accessibility to read and write, okay, I think we can, you know, equality can happen. Okay. So with that, I'm just going to finish it here.
Now, shall we take questions from here, and then I can check the Zoom here. Any question? If you let me come that way. Yeah, no, you come this way.
That's an excellent presentation. Really beautiful. Very fascinated by LMIC's increase in the shift. That's something I wasn't expecting. Thank you. Thank you. So it's very important to get that message out.
Yeah.
I don't know how good you guys are at making people hear that, because we get a lot of push. Well, we do a lot of work with colleagues, but they often feel they're rejected. They don't see themselves accepted, and they, you know, so that's an important thing. And I know that one of the stress is, as I spoke to you earlier, was about the APC, the child.
Yes.
That's one of the problems we have and we're struggling with. And the third thing is, of course, for promotion within universities, the Scopus Index has become a marker of how important it is for your promotion. So, whereas I think it's got a really important relevance, but it's a question of how we can help more LMICs, even though there's an increase, LMIC colleagues to actually break into the arena. And is Elsevier doing anything about facilitating?
Yes to that, definitely yes to that. I think the first thing I would say to you is, in your respective institutions, do you know who your Elsevier contact is?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah?
Yeah, because usually I'm contacting directly to Elsevier, and they are responding within 2 business days and giving quite accurate information and support. I'm contacting them quite often for various reasons.
But who are you speaking to? Are you speaking to the support team, online support team, or are you talking
They always have a form, actually, depending on your query. So it's not always one person that you're contacting, and they have a team. And they probably have the common database. Sometimes I'm receiving a reply from someone called Michael, the another day someone from another person. So by any way, it's like they are filling the same database, I believe, the same queries that they have access.
And depending on the questions that you have, well, what's the sort of last thing is we have in the institute?
So there's that question, and there's the do you know who your main Elsevier contact is?
No.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
no, yeah.
So on the institution, your first point of contact is your library colleagues, right? Your colleagues in the library and the research office, right? Two key offices that you really need to all be aware of, right? The library colleagues are brilliant in helping you, guiding you, also understanding all the different databases out there that's tracking your data. The research office, and then in the concept of the UK, where we have the evaluation, the REF, the research office does a lot of work in that, right? So they're there, and also the funding aspect as well. Now, at Elsevier as an organization, we do have a group of people we have an organization called Customer Success Organization. That's why I'm talking about. And I guarantee you, all of you in the room, if you're affiliated to a university, you have a customer success manager supporting that university. right? And that person can help you with training, understanding all the thing around Elsevier, all the solutions you have available to you, right? And you know the conversation we've just had, they're your point of contact. Now that's the first thing about it, because not many people are aware that this service exists, and it's part of you being an Elsevier customer. So
I think it's
yeah.
more a quantitative data analysis that Scopus is doing, because you have shown a very good analysis how authors are integrated with SDG. I have lots of publication in sustainability myself. I have a book also on that.
Yeah.
However, I did not mention that which particular SDG my particular research is aligning with. So I try to search. Thank you. I try to search myself and my publications on the website that just you shared. I was very inquisitive to see if my work is listed there or not. I couldn't find it. Probably this is because of the quantitative analysis you are using. You're picking up the keywords, right?
So what we're doing, we're studying the title, the abstracts, and keywords submitted by the researchers, and then there is so the team behind this, they've worked with researchers across the globe, and there are specific keywords that they have determined that belongs to that basically SDG. But it's also expanding that keyword.
Yeah. That is the why I'm mentioning this to you. It's you can take it as, you can say, not a critic, but maybe a challenge to update the system. Should be based on some qualitative analysis also to check not only the keywords like SDG 17 or 8 or 3 or so on. Also, for example, some other keywords should be included.
But it is, that's what I'm saying. So it's the title, the abstract. So it's words coming from the title, abstract, and the keywords itself, it's ever growing. So what the best thing you can do is, if you land on, say, Scopus.com, you see it, there is a button that says make a suggestion or feedback to that question. Yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. And then I've given my detail as well. So
you already have lots of questions from me. I will get chance to another.
One more question, because actually I data scientist also my research field, and you mentioned already some AI tools like from NCD. It's what I understood. You can also correct me. So it's like classification of publication with SDG goals. Like So what was the approach? What SCP did? If there is some problems regarding, for example, anomalies or and what about the accuracy of the algorithm used? So it could be that happen that there is like a wrong classification or something.
Yeah, so on the AI part component itself that's now on the solutions, we have some fantastic team who are, these are the technologists, and these guys are some of them are computer scientists. They're experts in AI and LLM. So what we have done is the AI layer on our sources is all coming from what's indexed in Scopus.com. So that's the first thing. It's not outside of Scopus.com. So it's already peer reviewed. And then in terms of the methodology, then to put it in the basic term, we have added in an extra layer because we also have now got our own responsible statement on AI. So we can't develop solutions that's AI related unless we meet that kind of criteria. So we have added on our own layers on there just for extra security.
Because with AI, like with AI, we can classify, we can cluster, we can forecast. Predict.
Yeah.
We have also developed some tools for forecasting the future of publication. Which publication could be aligned with which goal? How will be the future publication? It will be like climate change, because today, for example, everyone talks about climate change. So there is forecasting with coming potential publication.
So the system Cyber, which is the research intelligence platform, that's a really powerful analytical system, and that's the one that takes the data from Scopus.com and basically gives that really powerful insight.
How will be that publication for the coming year? Will be in which SDG?
So it is, so it works on historical data, but it's also so the team behind there have managed to find a way to also showcase you can study basically future behavior. And it's called topic clustering. And the way that is working is we're matching documents via citation linkage. I mean, I'm really passionate about this topic because this is what I used to train in academics on. I can talk to you about this for like ever, basically. But yeah, so topics really showcased in emerging topics, etc. That's the way to kind of we study historical data and we're able to determine.
And I was surprised for one thing because in your presentation you mentioned like most publication comes from low middle income countries.
Yeah. So according
the trend now.
Yes.
The publication. I don't know why coming from low income. So I don't know, the high income country, they are not interested.
No, it's just what the study was showing is that there is more research now. So what the study is actually highlighting is that lower middle income countries are actually becoming more even concerned about sustainability. Exactly. And so
it's related to SDGs specifically.
It's related to SDGs specifically.
Not the medicine.
No, it's related.
Otherwise, also, if you see the statistics, major publications are coming from developing countries.
Yes.
China and India, they are on top these days. So if you check the
Maybe one more thing, but the United States never published SDG reports. Like
What we're going to do, we're going to share this with Elsevier at some point because we really want them to understand, to see the data we are going to work around it and to see where. That's why I think this is extremely useful. So this conversation will definitely be continued. I think I have seen their data. It's unbelievably useful. And I remember in my office, we tested a couple of things about, say, for example, which is the country with the top research on XYZ. Immediately in the office was able to get that. So it's unbelievable. So we want to see how we can, and I got an email from Petro yesterday. He's so excited about the SDG tracker, what we did yesterday. And actually for a long time, he was arguing for us getting PhD students to work on this and so on. So we will see. But I think, like you said, this conversation will carry on. Yeah. And I think it's getting darker, and I'm very keen for you to see something of the London Eye, as I promise you. So thank you very, very much, Sahara. Really grateful. And we will go together so we can carry this conversation, and we will bring her online, definitely. Thank you so much, Sahar. And now I know the protocol very well. So we will give her the award and then we will leave because I think we've got 1 hour to get all the way to.
So
thank you.
Just update. Let me do that first, and I'll update you.
Thank you very much, Sahar. Really grateful for this. Thank you very much.
Very nice. Very much. Awesome.
Sorry.
I don't understand.
Huh?
This way. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
3, 2, 4, 3, 2. Right.
Thank you very much, Sahar. Thank you very much. Professor Garcia, one last one, Martin. Professor Victor Garcia, you told me that the correct name is to have the 3 names, right? In Colombia. Okay. Thank you. We stay here.
Sir, I
So,
will take your.
No, you stay here. Thank you very much, Professor.
See, although I will check online also, but we need your support here in this regard. If there are any more requirements.
Thank you very much. So now we all should get ready. Let me just. Sorry.
Take another one.
Because we have nothing to do.
Okay. Wait.
Although I have an Excel database from my previous university, but currently I'm not just working like this. So sorry.
3, 2.
So only the journals.
One more.
Right.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Volumes also.
So
this is for.
Yeah. So those who are with us on the Zoom, we thank you very much for continuing joining us. We're going to stop here. We finish this again. Very long day, very successful day. and we see you tomorrow at 9. And tomorrow we have quite also, we're hoping tomorrow to finish by 4 o'clock. So thank you very much, and goodbye from here, and we'll see you tomorrow.